What's up with the squad? Back with another video. I seen the title's going out. Make sure y'all hit the like button, hit the subscribe button for me. Please, y'all see it in the title. I don't know if y'all seen my video before. Make sure y'all go check it out. Y'all know I use, a different hand, messed up my shoulder somehow. I don't even know. But yeah. Had to let y'all know. Y'all know I let y'all know a lot. I let y'all know a lot that's, going on, with my life. There is a vlog that will be dropped too, so make sure y'all stay tuned. If y'all like car shows, anything like that, or just, daily vlog, y'all want to see my family and stuff like that. It will be dropped on my second channel. My second channel is, I forgot the name of it, but it is on my home. I'm pretty sure I have it on here, y'all. So y'all can see. Put up to the camera right quick so y'all can see. It's Recklezz Vlogs, actually. I don't know how I didn't know that, but it's Recklezz Vlogs. Y'all can see it right here, or it's on my home screen. Y'all can go check it out. But definitely make sure y'all go. I'm gonna be dropping it soon, so make sure y'all stay tuned for it. But y'all already know. Y'all got here. Latest on Jasmine Crockett. Check it out, MSNBC.
Stop falling for the okie doke. Stop believing the lies that they are putting out there and the terrible racist tropes that they are constantly using to rile people up. It is time to recognize that while you thought the enemy was the immigrant, or you thought the enemy was the trans person, or you thought the enemy was the black folk, or you thought the enemy were the women, when the reality is that the only person that is harming you right now, if you are struggling to make sure that you can pay your bills, if you're struggling to feed your family, if you are struggling to find a job, if you are struggling to keep your business open, or if you are a farmer, while we currently have record level bankruptcies by farmers, it is not any of those people on the list. It is the old white Nepo baby that is sitting in the White House that is causing all the destruction, pain, and problems that you are enduring.
So you literally sit here and say somebody is being racist, this, that, and the other, but just call President Trump a old white Nepo baby. I mean, make it make sense. I mean, honestly make it make sense. What good is that doing you? I mean, honestly, every time she gets on the news and speaks, it's not doing anything but making things better for the right. I mean, honestly. Check it out. More Jasmine Crockett.
There is something happening, and this is based on what actual medical professionals have told me, mentally as well as physically. And then after they put out their report of his most recent physical, it has only led those on the medicinal side to think for sure that he had a stroke. There are people that are theorizing because I think within 4 to 6 weeks.
Hold on. Wait. President Trump had
those on the medicinal side to think for sure that he had a stroke. There are people that are theorizing because I think within 4 to 6 weeks of one of these incidents, you have to go in and you have to get imaging and things like that, which is something they can't do at the White House, which would require them to get him over to Walter Reed. So we are asking the serious probing questions because mental as well as physical fitness are things that the American people are supposed to be made aware of when you are serving at the helm. So as much as I make fun of cankles, it is very serious, and we need to know.
So you mean to tell me that she's saying that happened to President Trump? And this list is in the past 24 hours. When you literally have that happen to you, from what I've seen, you just don't, your body doesn't respond. Your body doesn't respond that quickly, and that, it doesn't work like that. I'm no doctor or anything like that, but it just doesn't work like that. From my experience of seeing, it takes a little while, for obviously. He flew to Israel, spoke to the press, did an interview, flew to Egypt, met with the Egyptian president, spoke to press, delivered another speech, took photos, chatted individually with dozens of world leaders, signed historic Gaza peace deal, met with family hostages. It's a whole list of things that he did in the past 24 hours. I don't know if y'all have seen, but President Trump, honestly, is a very busy individual. Very, very, very busy individual. And, I was actually watching this video, and, is on his plane, and he looked tired. I'm not gonna lie, and I'm like, man, he needs to get him some sleep. He definitely needs to get him some sleep. But it's so many things that's going on, in the United States and the world that he's dealing with, that he's doing. And then you still have people like Jasmine Crockett that gets up on stage and it's just like, oh, I'm about to talk crazy, about this guy. Like, there's other things, like seeing how President Trump is doing all these things and, making these deals and speaking to the press and meeting with families and doing a whole bunch. Doing a whole bunch. My thing is you're getting up on stage talking about everything that she doesn't like about President Trump, what she thinks, medically is wrong with President Trump. But then Joe Biden actually having something medically wrong with him, didn't have nothing to say. Or better yet, didn't do shit in the 4 years that he was in the White House. So y'all, she's not about to sit here up on stage. And it's not even about taking up for nobody. It's just speaking facts. He did this in the past 24 hours, y'all. The past 24 hours. And she get up here and say this. That literally just goes to show you on how full of it Jasmine Crockett is. All right here. Not even gonna lie. Check it out, Stephen A. Smith.
Let me tell you what gets me annoyed. And I hope Jasmine Crockett is listening to this. By the way, she's welcome on the show. When you go on national television and you calling the president of the United States out of his name.
Come on now.
And you being all disrespectful. As a representative in this country, do you believe the citizens of Texas sent you there to do that? They don't like him either. I'm talking about those who voted for her in all likelihood. But because he is who he is and he is in that position, they expect you to go to Capitol Hill and figure out a way to maneuver yourself through that terrain to work in a fashion that's going to facilitate getting things done on behalf of your constituents.
Come on,
that's your job.
Come on.
That's your job. Excuse my language on Sirius XM, but it ain't your job to say he ain't shit.
Exactly.
He ain't worth a damn. That's not your job. Anybody can do that.
Anybody.
You're supposed to be figuring out a way to get things done.
Figuring out a way to get things done. But unfortunately, which I can't even say unfortunately, I love that she's doing it because, again, it's doing nothing but helping so many people. So many people. Oh, yeah. I see what President Trump is doing. We rocking with President Trump. President Trump is making stuff happen. President Trump is making stuff, even if they don't look at President Trump. Oh, this influencer, he know what he's talking about. He put her on. Dang, I didn't see this about Jasmine Crockett. She said this. She ain't even doing nothing to help us out. She doing it to herself. Keep putting her up there. Keep putting her up there, y'all.
But I felt compelled to come on the air a little bit earlier this week after what I've had to endure this weekend. What I had to endure this weekend were an abundance of people talking a whole lot of stuff about me because they did not like what I had to say about Representative Jasmine Crockett. She is a Democrat out of Texas, Texas's 30th congressional district. Her work, and her verbiage and all of that stuff speaks for itself. And she has become a big-time public figure in essence, not just as a representative, but speaking out on a plethora of issues involving the current administration and the White House, et cetera, et cetera. And I made some noise last week because I had the temerity, the unmitigated gall, to say this about Representative Crockett when talking about the state of our politics in the midst of a government shutdown, by the way, that has unfolded since October 1st.
Made some noise last week. But people are crazy if they don't think that he'll just make more noise. Check out more on Stephen A. Smith.
This educated, brilliant black woman representing over 750,000 people is engaging in verbiage and rhetoric for the streets. And that's fun when you're in the streets. How many of y'all bring the streets to the table when you at the negotiating table trying to get a deal done? How many of you are able to think that for a second that you're able to bring street verbiage to Capitol Hill and that's going to work for you?
Come on now.
You literally have senators and congressional figures on Capitol Hill on the side of the Republicans telling the networks, whether it's Fox News, News Nation, or anybody else, please, please, please put her front and center on camera. Why would they do that? Because they know it wins for them.
Just like I just said, y'all. She keeps on getting in front of that camera, talking about Trump, talking about Trump, talking about Trump. If y'all haven't noticed that a lot of people that actually don't know what they're talking about, people that's in denial, people that's brainwashed, the only thing that they can do is talk about Trump, bash Trump, say this about him, say this, say that about him. That's all they want to do. Nothing else. That's literally all they want to do is talk crazy about Trump. That's not going to help anything. People are literally looking at Jasmine Crockett like, well, she's not helping, so I don't even know what, and they turn away from the Democratic Party. So keep on putting her up there. Definitely amazing.
Stephen A. Smith said no lies about Jasmine Crockett. He said no lies. She is ghetto. The way she presents herself is ghetto, and it's not even who she is. If you look into her background, she grew up in a private school. She grew up in a very white, affluent area. She tries to act like she a soul sister from the hood and ghetto who scraped her way from the deep Bronx or the deep parts of Texas. That's not what happened. She went to a private school, right? This is an act. It all is an act. I've been telling people that. And she's going to be fired because they've redistricted. But the reality of it is they're mad at Stephen A. because he didn't say he didn't like her. He didn't say none of that. All he did was criticize her, right? Because in the black community, like I keep saying, I'm going to continue to say, we don't have the right in the black community to criticize the Democratic Party. You become an outsider to your people. It's a cult. The black community is a cult. It's a cultish community. You are not allowed to think freely. You're not allowed to, in Mexican community you can, in other communities you can, not in the black community. You can't be allowed to criticize Jasmine Crockett because she acts like a majority of black people. She acts ghetto, right? Not all black people, but a majority of them, they like that. Why you think our favorite shows are Housewives of Atlanta? The shows we watch are toxic. Housewives of Atlanta, Love and Hip Hop, baddies. That's the type of toxicity that the black community likes. And so she's toxic. Jasmine Crockett is toxic, and that's what that appeals to the black community. That's why they're mad right now, because they like somebody. They don't like the Michelle Obama types, right? I don't like Michelle, but at least Michelle wasn't like that. She was a classy woman. She was an Oprah type of person, Oprah Winfrey, classy. That generation of women is gone, right? The women who
as much as I don't like Oprah, I'm not even gonna lie. Like, he's speaking facts right now. He's definitely speaking facts.
Front you, that TCC, they think, well, she's standing up against Trump. It don't matter what Trump is doing. Why are you worried? Trump don't act ghetto. He might say stuff that you might not agree with, but he don't act ghetto. He don't act uneducated. That's how she acts.
Exactly.
And she's very educated. So that's the problem. Stephen A. has the right to criticize whoever he wants to criticize, and he doesn't deserve the reaction he's getting when he's a Democrat criticizing. He's supposed to be one of them. But he has a critique for his leaders because he's trying to be unbiased. He's trying to be an independent journalist, an independent candidate, a person, but not allowed to. Unless you are a black person like Charlemagne and the Democrats can do nothing wrong in your eyes, that's the only way you can be accepted in the black community. Stephen A. is going to experience some viewer loss doing what he's doing because black community, you're not allowed to think outside the box.
Trust and believe. It's happened to me. When I first did these political videos, and the crazy thing about it is that y'all know me. If y'all don't know, I've always not. I've this is what past 3 years I've did these political videos, controversial. I was doing music reactions, sports comedy, stuff like that. And I won't say that I had a big following of the black community, but I did. Everybody really, I did, a lot of K-pop, a lot of rock, a lot of country, rap. A lot of music, all the way down from the 20s, the 30s, you know, real, like pretty wild. I'm not even gonna lie. And I literally, when I first started my first video, I was learning about, you know, Democratic Party, Republican Party, this, that, and the other, and just learning different things. And I had so many hateful comments. Things have definitely, you know, changed now. Even if I do have, you know, a crazy comment, trust and believe, there's some people that's crazy about me, that are in my comments, nonstop. That's ready. That I'm telling y'all that's ready to go and not do nothing, you know. But they in the comments like, nah, you ain't gonna do that. You're not doing that here, you know. And I absolutely love it. I absolutely love it. I really don't have that many bad comments, you know, as much now, especially with having, you know, that reckless force, you know. People in my DMs, you know, I've had people. I've actually had this woman say something not too long ago, and I just responded and said, I said what I said. You know, you watch my videos faithfully, and I don't know to this day why. She must like what I do. She might think that I'm cute. I don't know what it is, but you know, this woman, she's on here and she talks crazy. I end up having to block her on Instagram, but you literally have people like that. You have people like that all the time. You know, that means you're doing something right. Definitely doing something right. But I seen this video. Said this 10-year-old that gave her honest thoughts about Jasmine Crockett. Says after only watching 2 clips, she saw through her BS real fast. Nobody's buying it. These are very unserious people. The simple fact that this is a 10-year-old and feels this way about Jasmine Crockett, I'm telling y'all.
Well, that was Jasmine Crockett. I guess she's supposed to be someone for you to look up to, at least according to the left. In this home, no, that's not. What did you think about our black Congress representative Jasmine Crockett? How was that?
I think her voice changed in like 2 seconds from the first video to the next one.
She said her voice changed.
She sounded like ghetto.
Yeah.
She sounded
Hey,
ghetto.
I got a quick question.
And I can barely hear this video too as well, y'all. I know y'all probably having trouble, so I apologize.
How is it possible, and I didn't prep her for that, by the way, but how is it possible that my 10-year-old daughter can hear Jasmine Crockett for the first time, listen to 2 clips, and the first thing she said to me was, Dad, her voice changed. Why did her voice change from one clip to the next? Because she's putting on a show, my dear.
Putting on a show.
She wants to get invited to the cookout. So unfortunately, in the black community, you got to walk around and act like you don't have a lot of intelligence. You got to act like stuff isn't happening. You got to be ghetto and loud and like say, F Donald Trump. And like, then you get invited to the cookout. But I guess that's why we don't get invited to many more cookouts.
I'm not even gonna lie. This young lady right here, you know, this 10-year-old, I can just tell y'all right now, has amazing parents. Has amazing parents just based off of, I don't know, you know, who they vote for. I don't know who they support or anything like that. But just him speaking facts, you know, on something like this, bringing it to her attention, you know, this young, teaching her, I feel like it's definitely important. And this is what I mean, but I feel like it's definitely important. There's so many other kids that are looking at other things, you know, and him being this parent and getting her involved in a way, I feel like it's definitely cool, you know, and it's definitely lit, you know, that, you know, you have amazing parents out here, you know, doing, you know, amazing work, you know. I'm not even gonna lie. This is definitely amazing work, you know, putting into your kids. I love to see people putting into their kids knowledge, you know, intelligence. I love seeing it. Make sure y'all hit the like button, hit that subscribe button. My shoulder is definitely in pain. I know y'all seeing my energy change a little bit. It's definitely been bothering me. But hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Definitely appreciate y'all. Much love, everybody. Catch y'all next one.